Okay, what's up, everybody? Hey, this is day 5 of hashtag Movetober 2025, right? So we got it completed, but we did a bunch of miles today, right? So I'm going to do, this is going to be kind of different, kind of make it short, and I want to talk about one thing. A lot of people don't really bring up, but it's an issue. If you're a bigger guy trying to lose weight, and, you know, this is a struggle that everybody deals with, right? But first, I'm going to talk about that, and then, but let me recap, like, the miles. So for the week, I've done almost 23 miles, right? So the 2 miles a day was the challenge. That's the point of the challenge. I've been walking more. So yesterday I did 7.6. Today I did about 9, which puts me about 23 for the week. So here's the cool thing, right? So doing 23 miles in a week and working 60 hours as a full-time over-the-road flatbed truck driver, it's hard, it's difficult. Now, what I want to say about the takeaway from this week, this wasn't a full week of the 2 miles a day. We started on the 1st, which was like on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, Wednesday or whatever. But the cool thing about the observation is getting those miles in, the 2, it allows you to build it up. And my goal was, I've been doing 20 miles a week on average for the last months and months. That's how I've been able to lose weight, get healthier. My skin is cleared up. I mean, everything, right? We talk about all the health things I've talked about before. But the challenge is recovery and not getting injured. And let me tell you specifically about this. And this is what I want to talk about. And you'll see graphics of the miles I've done and everything. So I don't want to make this a big old long video, because I'm going to talk about different kinds of recovery specifically for big guys that struggle with losing weight. Now, one of the things is your feet. Your feet struggle tremendously. When you start exercising and walking and you're a big guy, you have a lot of problems with your feet. For me, when I started doing longer distances, blisters became an issue. Blisters, and it'll take you out for a couple of days. Sometimes the blisters will be super bad. So I went through this extensive search and just a discovery of trying to figure out as I'm losing weight, because sometimes it'll stop me for 2 or 3 days, and the blisters get pretty bad. So and I'm just going to give you 2 of those little things that helped me out, right? So I started looking at these toe socks things. And so as a big person, when your feet are swollen, toe socks are hard to come by. And so I would recommend, I've bought dozens and dozens of different type of toe socks, but I have a bunch of different kind of pairs that I've experimented with. And frankly, when they don't work, they're too tight, I cut the tops, like all kinds of experiments with them. But I found that the toe socks help with blisters on my feet completely, because when you have a bigger foot, when you're a bigger guy, I'm a size 13, and when you first start exercising, your feet are swollen because you're not used to walking, right? So then your feet, because they're in the shoe, they start rubbing together and getting blisters. So the toe socks help tremendously for me anyway, right? And then another thing too is Band-Aids. So the back of my heel, the back of my shoe, sometimes I'll tie my shoe too tight and I'll get blisters back there. I did it the other day. I got a bunch of blisters because I didn't do what I'm supposed to do, which was use Band-Aids. And I put Band-Aids back there. Either I'll put 1 or 2 back there. I kind of know the area. But see, that slows you down when you start getting blisters on your feet as a bigger guy. I'm not talking about a thinner person. I'm talking about a big guy trying to lose weight. We're going to struggle with, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, about shoes. Shoes. I go back and forth with my buddy Scootley, who's doing this challenge too. By the way, in the description, it's his challenges. And the shoe thing is a big deal, but I'm going to talk about it tomorrow because it deserves a separate video. But this is what I'm talking about specifically, is toe socks. Don't get socks that squeeze your feet. If you're a big guy, socks will squeeze and cut your circulation off, and you'll get blisters, and that slows your progress down so much. But anyways, that's what I did. You got to go on your own mission to discover what kind of toe socks work for you. They're not cheap. They're not expensive. You have to kind of discover that on your own. But anyways, we did it. Day 5 is completed in the books, but I wanted to change things up and not show me running, and show some scenery. We're going to get back to that for sure. But Monday's a fresh week. This is the end of my week. We got to 23 miles. So that's the challenge, right? The challenge is that next couple of videos, I'm going to talk about recovery. I'm going to talk about shoes. I'm going to talk about planning where to run, what's safe, what's not. You have to evaluate all that kind of stuff. And so also, you have to pay attention to hygiene. But I'm going to talk about all those things separately. So Like, subscribe. This is day 5 complete. We're going to do the whole month. Tomorrow is going to be a fresh week, and we're going to get it all done. Talk to you guys later. Bye.